Hello, everybody. Um, this morning, I was out and about in the car when I heard on CNN the decision to overturn by the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. And I guess we all knew this was coming, but it shocked me nonetheless. And I have been thinking about it, and this is the first chance I've had to sit down and record something for the women of the United States. My heart is breaking for you. Up until now, at least for my almost my entire life, you have had the right to choose whether to move forward with a pregnancy or to end it, to make that decision, to choose what you would have done with your body, to allow you the autonomy of who you are as a person, to do what you need to do. I know that there are probably many, many people out there, many women who made decisions hastily and maybe regretted them, and others who have treated abortion as some kind of form of birth control. But my hunch is that for the most of you, for most people, it was never did choose abortion. It was never a decision made lightly. It would indeed impact your life. And for the couple of women I know who have had abortions here in Canada, I know that even though in some ways it really did save their lives, I don't mean, physically or biologically, but psychologically, and allowed them to go on to live full lives and then have families when they were ready to be parents. I know that having the choice still was a difficult thing for them to do, and it changed who they were. And now that choice for American women has been taken away, potentially taken away. I cannot even begin to understand how that must feel. I pray for all those people who are now feeling betrayed by their government, who are feeling scared of their own state legislature and wondering what might happen next. And for those of you who might say, you're Canadian and you don't have anything to say about this, you're right. It's not my place to determine what happens in your country. But as a female and as a Christian, I care and I pray for those people who have to make those decisions. I have prayed all along for women who have found themselves in positions where they have felt there was a need for them to make that decision. And for those women who have asked me to pray for them as they made that decision here where I live, I have not prayed one way or another, but I have prayed that they might have peace of mind, that they might have health in their body, that their futures would be impacted in such a way that they would be able to live full lives and be able to give to their child, if they chose to carry the child, the life that they would have them live. Or if they chose to terminate their pregnancy, that they would be able to in the future make the determination about when it would be right for them to be able to give birth and to raise a child and to give that child every opportunity they could have. As of now, who knows what will happen? But what will happen is there will be some children who are born into lives that they didn't ask for. Some women who find that their lives are turned completely upside down by the inability to take care of a child, for a world in which they bring the child to term and there is no good family to adopt that child. The shame of knowing that your family may turn against you for getting pregnant in the first place. The worry of knowing that this is going to be a difficult thing to do for the next 9 months and what happens after. For those women whose lives will be put in jeopardy, whose livelihoods will be put in jeopardy, because having a child can have a huge impact on a career, on or simply just on having a job. And healthcare is bad enough for one, let alone for two. But it also comes down to, what about those women and those young girls who find themselves in a position where they are pregnant because of incest or rape? Well, who's going to take care of the psychological impact on that woman or that child for the rest of their life when they are forced to carry a child they did not choose to create? What happens to that child when they are given up or when they are told the truth about their conception? I do not personally think that that abortion is a form of birth control. I think there are times when I don't want it to happen, and I think there are times when I think that I think there are times when it's probably not a great idea. But I also believe that it is important that a person, a woman, be able to make that choice herself. And I worry about what this will mean for women, what this will mean for other things that will now come across the board, and what will happen in Canada because of that, because politics aren't so different. What happens to contraception? What happens to the rights for two people of the same gender to be married? What about racism? If we can strip the rights of women, how quickly will we strip the rights of minority groups? I know that isn't what the justice was talking about, and he stated that this was only about abortion, but it's a slippery slope. I pray this day for all women who are struggling with this. I pray that women on both sides of the issue, I recognize that there's more than two sides, but more on pro-life and pro-choice, I pray that women will be able to come together to have conversation and not to yell at each other. That together they will begin to realize the impact this may have on the future of women in the United States, in Canada, around the world. Women are people too. They are children of God. They are created in God's image and are equal to and as important as the men who make decisions, seemingly on women's behalf. And for those women who participated in the decision to strike down Roe v. Wade, those women who have been lobbying to have it struck down, may God bless you and protect you that you never have to make a decision in which you find yourself up against a man telling you you don't have the right. I don't have the right to speak up about this. And I'm certainly not speaking on behalf of the church. But as a priest, as a pastor, as someone who cares about the well being of other people, I pray this day for hearts which have been broken. I pray this day for women who find themselves in untenable positions and are now faced with the possibility that they could be charged or charged if they have an abortion, or forced to go ahead with a pregnancy that they did not want. No child should be necessitated to come into this world in which they are not wanted, in which they are not loved, a life that they did not ask for, but a life they will be forced to live. I've seen a lot of stuff on Facebook about The Handmaid's Tale, written by Margaret Atwood, a Canadian author. There's a lot to be said in those books, a lot to be said in what she spoke so many years ago. The day has come when women must speak, but we must be articulate, and we must be compassionate and caring, and we must not speak with hatred, but we must speak at a place of love and hope and a desire to help everyone see that every person is equal. They are equal in the eyes of God, and they should be equal in the eyes of our society. To all of you who are struggling right now and are angry and hurt, please know that you are in my prayers. Please know that you are not standing alone, but people looking on will watch and will support you. God bless you all. God bless you all.